got? Look at that. Scandal of our 1 billion aid to India, while in Britain schools have no cash for repairs. What a disgrace. There's old people dying in hospitals, and this Tory government's giving away £1 billion to India that's supposed to be an up-and-coming country. God, what a bloody joke, isn't it? Tell you what, I just come back from Lanzarote, or Lanzarote as I call it. Oh, hello, you're on, aren't you? Hello, James.
Hi,
You've
Colin.
been filming that, haven't you, James?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, I just come back from Lanzarote, dog shit alley as I call it. You've got a lovely prom, it goes for miles. Beautiful prom, beautiful stuff to keep your feet. You work on these machines along the prom. And about every 100 yards there's a heap of dog shit along the prom. All the cafes and restaurants are closing down because they're having a hard time. You think you're having it bad over here, you want to see it over there. But there is a difference. The sun shines, as you can see. Look at the brown on that arm. I've had a month for that. Ain't you jealous? No, of course you're not. You wish me well, don't you?
Of course.
You're lovely people. Anyway, how are you, James?
Not bad, thank you, Colin, not bad.
I've had a load of letters this week. I've had letters and phone calls from all over the world. It's been absolutely fantastic. I haven't stopped since I came back. Done about 11 more news shows. They're going on tonight, so they'll be able to listen to them. And I've had some music from various people. I've had Iris Little. She sent me some music from Carlo, my mate, who I worked with in Radio Sutch in the 60s, the early 60s. It's a tune called Never Stop Rocking, so I'll play you a bit of that in a minute. That's rather lovely. Then I've got some stuff here from the Mule Skinners. They're a little pop group that's in London, and they've got a thing here called Tomcat Boogie. That's rather interesting. Oh yeah, and then I had a chat with Roy Young. Now, not a lot of you know who Roy Young is, but us in the business do. Now, Roy Young, he was Christ, he's been going about 50 years. He won't appreciate that when I tell you, but he has. He was in Drum Beat, Oh Boy, all those sort of rock TV shows in the 50s and 60s. But this piece here that he sent me, it's got loads of different tunes on it. He's a very, very professional guy. You've got to give him that. He said to me, do you know who I am? I went, no. But I'm sure I'm going to find out when I was talking to him on the phone. Nice guy, though, for all that. And this is good stuff. And I've got another one here by the Mule Skinners. That's What Daddy Wants. That's what Daddy wants, all right. Daddy wants some. So anyway, and then, yeah, I've got one or two stories. Oh, I've got some photographs, too. I'm going to put these on Facebook. This is one of the Savages groups way back. That's Pussy Mew there at the back, and Ron Harwood's holding that funny looking lizard thing, and the other three guys, I'll tell you who they are in a minute. I know all these guys, don't forget. And then there's another one here of David Sutch. I hope you can see these, but I'll put them on Facebook for your pleasure. Freddie Fingers Lee's on there, but you can only see his arm at the moment. And Pussy Mew, Jeff Pussy Mew's here, and then there's some others. I'll tell you their names later. Of course, there's his lordship right in the middle, David. Good on you, my boy. Yeah, so I think they're quite interesting. Did you get that, James? Righto, we're getting there. I've got a fair old longish programme here tonight. Oh, then another guy sent me this wonderful bit of music. I want you to listen to this. I think this is fantastic. This is it's an introduction. I'll play it for you. Ah, I pressed the wrong button. That's Radio Sutch for you. Never get it right. Just bear with me, folks. We'll get there. I've been doing this all week, pressing the wrong buttons. I must have pressed the wrong button years ago. Anyway, here we go.
This is the Colin Dale Show, reliving the music from the 50s and 60s on Radio Sutch.
David Sutch would have loved this. It's a bit Dracula's drum, isn't it? for it.
This is Colin Dale on Radio Sutch.
Without a doubt. I just love that little number. It's great. Anyway, I digress. I've got such a lot to tell you about. I've had a phone call this week with Jeff Pussy Mew, and out in the Middle East, Qatar, is it? Is it Qatar?
Qatar.
Qatar.
Qatar, yeah.
Yeah. Trust me to get it wrong. It's in the Middle East. It's all sandy. Anyway, he trains pilots out there. He's 70 years of age, old Jeff now. He was the lead guitarist with David Sutch's Savages in 62, 63, 64, about that time. And then he worked in Germany in the Star Club in Hamburg. But we had a long chat on the phone, Jeff and I, and he sent me those photos, by the way, that I've just shown you, which are very, very interesting. Again, I'll put them on Facebook. Oh, and I'll tell you who are on those photos. There's Danny McCulloch. I've spoken to Danny over the years. He went, when he left Sutch, he went with the Animals. And he wrote a book and he published it last year about his life with the Animals. The Animals, you know what I mean by the Animals, don't you? Eric Burden and all that lot. Anyway, Danny took over from Chaz Chandler in the Animals, and that was after Chaz died. And not a lot of people know this, but Chaz Chandler was very, very famous for discovering Jimi Hendrix. You see, I know all these things, don't I? I ought to, I was there. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, then in the picture there's Deg Sermon, drummer who worked extensively in the rock world in those days. Who else was there? I think that's about it, isn't it? I think I've got them all. Have I got them all, James?
I think that's about it, Colin.
Yeah, lovely. Right, we'll move on a bit. I had another phone call this week. That was from Roy Young. Yeah, Roy Young, who worked on Drumbeat, Oh Boy, and Thank You Lucky Stars. And then, lo and behold, I had an email from Iris Little. That's Carlo Little's wife, and she sent me a very, very nice piece of work that he did just before he died, Carlo Little and his All-Stars, and I want you to listen to this, if I've got this damn machine right, because just lately I seem to be getting it all wrong, but never mind. Bear with me. Ah yes, here we go. This is it.
I can feel the beat, can you feel it too? I can jump and drive to the rhythm beats. You can shake your hips, you can really rock. You can twist and shout till you're ready to drop. I can wait every night when you hit that floor.
How it fits for time. Don't you ever stop rocking. I also had a phone call from Pete Newman. He used to be Dave Sutch's saxophone player in the late 50s, early 60s. And he reminded me of a little story that we used to tell one another years ago. It was about Dave Sutch's gown van. And before I go off air tonight, I must tell you about that old gown van. Bit of fun we had with that. Don't you just love it? Yeah, Carlo Little's All Stars, the great Carlo Little, one of the greatest drummers that ever performed in Britain, or anywhere else for that matter. As good as Gene Krupa in my opinion. Anyway, I digress. I can tell you a little story about, let me just get this here crummy thing set up because it's all going pear-shaped lately. Let me just have a look. That's it, that's all set to go. Anyway. Had a phone call from Pete Newman. He lives at Stoke Mandeville, that's in Buckinghamshire, and we had a long chat on the phone. He was David Sutch's saxophone player in the, I think I told you that just now, didn't I, in the 50s, 60s. And when he left David, he had many bands over the years. Great guy. And he reminded me of a little story that when David was starting out in the late 50s about the mode of transport that he used to use. And it was an old gown van that he bought. And it had no brakes, no wing mirrors, no this, no that. In the back they shoved an old couch, you know, an old, what do you call it, three-piece sweetie thing for the boys to sit on. And he drilled a hole in the floor in the back of this van. And then he had this, don't ask me how it worked because I'm not mechanical as you know. Don't even understand this thing really, but I do my best. But he used to put, when they were going up the M1, and there was the M1 in those days, but very little of it, if they had a problem, he used to say, put the oil in the hole, and evidently this hole was drilled out, and it went into that box at the back. What do you call that box at the back, James? That thing that sits at the back. I can't think, something to do with the brakes. Anyway, he used to say, pour the brake fluid in there. You can imagine. But this old van was falling to pieces. I don't know how it ever got up to the north of England, but it did. But anyway, one night they did a show, I think it was in Sheffield or somewhere like that. And David was doing the driving. Anyway, there was Pete and the other members of the band, and they all went on stage and performed. But David dropped them off with all the equipment, the PA system and all the rest of it, and the guitars and the drums and all their gear. And he went off, he said, I'll go and park the van. When they went out, when they finished at 11 o'clock at night, he went to get the van and he couldn't find it. He couldn't find the bloody van. In the end, they had to, how long have I got? 1 minute. I'm going to continue this story another time. Thank you. Was that... For Christ's sake, what's going on here? Get us off here, for Christ's sake. They've let the trunk out.